I'm the host, Jeannie Perez, the founder of You're Not Alone, and the podcast that you're listening to today, Breaking the Silence. I want to start out by saying thank you to everyone that continues to support us, continue to log on, giving me so many feedback on what's working, what's not working. I just want to say thank you. And with that being said, today I want to talk about something that I know that hits home for so many of us. It's called what we call, or a lot of people call, you might have never heard of it like this way, but it's called hyper-independence. And what hyper-independence is, normally when, even if we're drowning, we're saying, oh, we got it, I got it. Or, no, I don't need any help when you really need the help. Just always wanting to do everything on your own, but you really don't know how to do it, or you don't know which way to go to give yourself some help, or be able to function with what you're trying to do on a daily basis. And the reason for a lot of us that we tend to get frozen stuck into this hyper-independence mode, it's a lot of reasons. I'll go over just a couple of them today because we don't have enough time. It's such a long list on the reason why a lot of people get stuck in a hyper-independence mode on a daily basis. And when I say in that mood, it's because no matter what they do all day, they're stuck in that independence, hyper-independence mode because of a lot of reasons. And one big reason why this happens is because your nervous system no longer feels or holds like that other people will be your safety anymore. The reason why that is because your brain, as we all know that our brain is our function for everything that we do. So your brain gets in the function where it thinks that it's putting you in a safety zone by getting you into this nervous hyper-independence mode where you just try to save yourself. You don't feel like anyone is not safety for you anymore. You don't feel as though you feel secure with people anymore not because that's how you want it to be always. It's because that's almost the way that you trained your brain for certain reasons, different reasons, a lot of reasons. A lot of us, because of our circle or our brought up, the way we were brought up, a lot of times we're told, well, if you ask for help, you're weak. You got this. You can do this on your own. Why do you need help? Why do you need to go call somebody? Or why do we need a doctor to fix you? You're good. You got this. So we start to train ourselves in that way that we're being either brought up that way or ourselves. We just started training ourselves because of things that happen in our life. Triggers and stuff just started making us feel a different way. So we get stuck. But, for those that don't really understand, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that's going to resonate with this, they've been there, they've done it, they understand it, and then there's people that are not going to understand it because they've never dealt with hyper-independence, or they just haven't dealt with mental health and drug and addiction themselves. But really, what hyper-independence really is just a feeling that you feel unsafe, depending on others. Always minimizing your needs, saying when someone asks you, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, I'm good, I got this. But deep down inside, you don't, you're drowning. But because you're in this hyper-independence mode, and you trained yourself already to be like this, you're still used to saying, no, I got it, no, I'm good, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. And just avoiding those emotional intimacy when people really are trying to be there for you. We just avoid them. These are just things that we train ourselves to do because of that hyper-independence. And because of this, it's a lot of reasons. I'll share a couple reasons with you today that might resonate with some people and might be able to flick that light on and say, okay, yeah, this is probably what's going on with me. Or this is probably what's going on with such and such, Sometimes just hearing stuff out brings the light out to different, some people have just been going through this for years, but unless they hear from someone else, they don't realize what they've been doing for years, or they don't realize that the action of another person actually might have been this. So that is really why I share my, topics and my tools and resources, and I started this podcast was to hopefully be able to shed some light on something for somebody, or just be the word that someone had to hear, to really understand or really want to take that next step for themselves or for someone else. So a couple of things that stands in the root of the hyper independence is childhood emotional neglect. That's one of them. Betrayal. And a lot of us deal with that, betrayal, and a lot of us deal with that in certain ways. But this is one way that betrayal will affect you. It puts you into a hyper independence because you don't feel as though you can trust again. Abandonment from caregivers or partners, or just being that parent-filled child where you had to always be the adult. And I'm sure that a lot of people can resonate with that also, where you just had to be the adult because maybe your surroundings weren't unsafe, and maybe you had siblings that were younger than you, or maybe even they were older than you, but you were the one that had to take that parent-filled one, that you had to feel as though you had to feel like be the grown-up because of your surroundings. And also just living in different environments that maybe support wasn't available, or maybe it was just unsafe. Our brains, our mind, we get triggered because of these different scenarios that I just said, that we just start training ourselves to be something else. And that's just our safety net. That's just safety net that a lot of people need to, they just start training themselves when they're at that, when that situation is going on at that moment, they start training themselves and their brain starts storing this and their actions become this. And that's where, hyper independence starts out. Like they're so used to being this person just covering themselves up, holding up their shields all the time, that they become in this mode. So even if they're drowning and they need the help, they'll say, no, I got this, I'm good. No, I'm good, I got this. Or someone will understand and look at them and be like, wait a minute, something's not right. Are you okay? No, I'm good. Those are the kind of things that a lot of people with mental illness or drug and addiction do. It's a shield. And like I was saying yesterday, it's a mask that they train themselves to do, to put on whenever they need to. Even though they need help, they don't ask for it because of a lot of reasons. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, you're probably saying, well, Julie, okay, so if they're in this safety mode, or they're in this hypertension like you're saying, what am I supposed to do? Or if you're the person that's doing, that's in this mode, you're probably saying, well, Jeannie, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm so used to doing this, what am I supposed to do? For the person that's actually dealing with this, and you're the person that's in this hyper independence mode, I say that just try to understand that. I know you're in a spot right now where you feel as though like others are not safe for you right now. Like you're not trusting enough these individuals to tell them I have an issue, or I need help, or can you please support me and let's go get help for myself. I get it, because I know a lot of people have been through a lot, and just really trusting someone else is really hard for a lot of people because of different situations that life throws at us. And I get it. And that's why I'm here today, and I'm hoping that I'm able to speak clear enough or speak upon this broad enough where you understand that there are people still out there that you can trust. There are still people, good people out there that will walk with you on this journey. There are people out there, part of your circle, that if you just open up and tell them your situation, tell them what you're feeling, tell them what you're going through, will help you and they will walk you through wherever you need to do to get your help that you need. I know we just blind spot our eyes a lot. Like we blind spot ourselves a lot, where we start just really believing that people in our circle or just people in general are not trustworthy anymore. And yeah, some people are not. I'm not telling you to trust everyone, because everyone is not trustworthy of your time or of you telling them what's going on in your life. No, that's true. No. But there are people, I'm sure, that you come in contact with on a daily basis that are trustworthy. You just have to open up to them. You have to give them that chance to help you. You have to try to trust them again. Just give them a chance to see what happens. You can always step back. If you feel as though you told someone your situation and you feel as though they really didn't help you, they just stomped you. Like I said, stomped you. When I mean that is to tell you something like, oh, you'll get over that, or you'll be okay. Then no, that's a red flag. Then that person you thought you could trust isn't. And I apologize, that does happen. But you can step back. You can step back. But it doesn't mean that someone else that you might bring your attention to about the situation that you're going through is not going to help you, because there is someone that you're in contact with on a daily basis that is going to be able to be trustworthy, and they're going to want to help you with whatever your situation is. You just have to want to open up again. I'm not saying tell them everything that's going on in your life. I'm just saying tell them what you need help with at that moment. If it's trauma that you're still dealing with, and these thoughts are just really hitting you every day, and the reason why you are in this hyper independence mode on a daily basis, when you really do need the help, but you're just flagging everybody down and saying, no, I don't need help, when you're actually drowning and it's affecting you on a daily basis. Open up to someone. Figure out who is it that you're around the most on a daily basis. Figure out, just sit back and think about it. You can do this. I'm sure that, most of the time when individuals, they go through different kind of traumas, or they deal with different scenarios that put them into this mode, we become good readers. And when I mean good readers is you can look at a person and already feel if that person can be a part of you. Like, okay, I can trust that person, or yeah, that person is okay, I can be around that person. Like, follow your gut feeling. I always say that your gut feeling is never going to route you the wrong way. So, just put your guard down, let your guard down, open up to somebody, pause it on this hyper independence. Just give yourself a pause on that and trust somebody so that you can feel safe again and get the help that you need, and not continue to live every day by saying, I got this, no, I'm okay, I'm good, hi, how you doing, with a big smile, but you're drowning inside. Come in reality with yourself and understand that you can't continue life like this. Everyone deserves to be happy, but happy in true colors. And when I mean true colors, is really happy within, not being a happy smile or a happy person at that moment for someone else. Show up for yourself. Be happy for yourself. Be content with yourself. Once you do that independence, hyper mode, that mask, that fakeness that you have to be around certain people, you're going to be able to throw all that away. And you're going to be able to start just healing in yourself, healing with yourself, becoming that person that you want to be. Because I know, like I said always, none of us wake up wanting to suffer from mental illness. None of us wake up wanting for someone to hurt us and put us into that trauma spot. None of us wake up wanting to be an addict. These are things that unfortunately life throws at us, and most of the time we are not ready to deal with this, and then that's where things just start falling and we wind up in a dark hole, because it's unexpected. None of us like surprises, but life is a surprise. And every day when you wake up, we thank God that we do wake up every day, but every day that we wake up, you just never know what life is going to throw at you that day. We're never prepared, we're just prepared for the normal. Like get up, we get up, we get ready for our day. Some of us that go to work, we get up, we get ready, we go to work. Some of us that are home parents, we get up, we just get ready, get our kids ready. And some of us, like me, like I get up, I got to get myself ready, figure out which way am I going in the community, who am I dealing with today. These are things that I'm ready for. But, there's things in between all that we do on a daily basis that are thrown at us that we are not ready for. And unfortunately, worldwide, a lot of damage is happening on a daily basis, every second of the day to different people that they have not been ready for. And unfortunately, that's trauma, that's a lot of stuff. And that's what happens to them physically, emotionally, and mentally, and it puts them into these stages. And that's why I'm saying that if this is where you're at already, where you're at right now, and you're resonating with what I'm saying to you today, I'm just asking you to, one step at a time, try. I know it's hard. You're not going to be able to say, okay, I'm ready, I'm good. I'm no longer in this independence mode anymore. I get it. I know. It's not going to be able to be done within a minute or a second. Life is not complete. What we do in life, we can't do it in a minute or a second neither. So I'm not saying to you that you're going to be able to do, when this podcast is over, you're going to be able to do exactly what I'm asking you to try to do. But step by step. Every day, try to sit back and maybe just try to think on what I'm telling you. Try to think on steps that you can let go of that hyper independence. Starting to trust someone that's in your circle that you're dealing with on a daily basis. Try to get that comfortability with them that you can say to them, look, this is what's going on, help me. Without you feeling as though they're looking at you wrong or they're going to give you some kind of negative response where you got to build that flag back up or that mask back on. I'm telling you, take your time. Take as long as you need. Life is on your life is at your time. Take as long as you need, but try to start taking these steps little by little. Start taking that mask off every day. Try something different that's going to get you closer to being open with yourself and being open to where you can speak to someone and ask them for help. It's step by step, it's day by day. Nothing that we do in life we're going to be able to just accomplish it overnight. It's not going to happen. Maybe someone has all day, 24 hours a day to get them ready for something that they're trying to do and get it done within that day or get it done within those few minutes. I applaud you if you can do that. But I know in my lifetime, and I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with what I'm saying, things can't happen in just seconds or minutes. I can't change who I am or, try to come out and do something different within a matter of minutes or seconds. I can't do it. Maybe you can. And if you can, then go ahead and try to just work this and try to open up to someone and start trusting someone so you no longer have to live in a lie. Because hyper-independency really just is, you live in fake. You're living in a lie. You're lying to yourself. Because people are trying to help you, but you're continuing to say, no, I don't need the help. No, I'm okay. No, I got this. But really, you're drowning within you. People are saying, I know I had one person, because everything I talk about, I've had experience with someone else. Or I had a conversation with someone and, it just resonates with what I'm thinking. And I said, okay, let me bring this up because I know if I was able to help someone else with this situation, I'm sure there's many more people that are dealing with this. Or something similar where you can probably try to put the pieces together and try to do something different to help yourself. Some people, like I had this one guy, he said, I've been living like this for so long, I don't know how to live any different. And that's hard. I mean, that's like a really, really strong statement, but he was being honest with me. Like, he said, like, Jeannie, like, how do you expect me to really trust anybody or even trust myself? Because that's what he said, like, or even trust myself. He said, I've been living like this all my life. I know no different. And I get it. Like, I actually had to, like, I was standing up and I was talking to him. I had to sit down, like, because I get it. Like, I really understood his statement, what he was trying to tell me, and I looked at him right in his face and I can just see it. Like, I could just see the expression in his face and in his eyes. Like, he was being open. Like, he was really telling me, like, how did I expect him? Like, it was easy for me to say, but how was he supposed to do it if he's been like this all his life? Because of his childhood. And I get it. And it's like I'm telling you the same thing I told him. Like, you have to take it one day at a time. You have to try to do something different. Do a little step every day to get you closer to that, where you no longer have to live like this. Like, you no longer have to live in this hyper-independence. Like, you no longer have to fake it. Like, someone asks you, you're not okay? Be honest. No, I'm not doing okay today. Be honest with yourself. You needed help. Okay, with him, when he needed help, he got the help. He's getting help now. But it took him years to do that because he never had any support. And unfortunately, his partner is dealing with a lot of emotions and mental illness, just like him. So they were both trying to help each other, but it was kind of hard because they're both dealing with the same thing, in a different way. And the best thing they did was figured out together that they both needed to get help. And that's what they're doing now. And they're really, working it out day by day. Nothing happens overnight. And I'm applauding them for even trying to get help together. And that's what they're doing. And if you're in that situation also where your partner or a loved one are dealing with almost the same thing, but you both don't know what to do or how to really get yourself out of the situation, go get help together. Go get help together. Go heal together. Strengthen together. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with being honest and being blunt, saying that you both need help or that more than just one person needs help in your family. Go get help together. Get healthy together. Become stronger together, because that's what will happen. You will all get stronger together. And that's a beautiful thing. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, you'll hear me say over and over, mental illness, drug addiction, that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's nothing to be embarrassed about. Go get help, whether it's by yourself or get help for an individual, for a loved one, or if you all need to get help together, go do it. Become healthy and become strong together as one. That's a beautiful thing. You are going to be able to grow and really live life to its most. I know that, sometimes a lot of individuals, they go get help and they have to be on medicine. That's fine. Go get your medicine. Go do what you got to do. All these things are going to help you become a stronger person. It's going to help you grow and enjoy life at its most. Life is beautiful. You shouldn't have to deal with it every day worrying about other people or how you really feel, but you're covering it up for other people. They're enjoying their life. They're living life to the most, while you're hiding behind these masquerades and you're hiding behind this hyper-independence because you don't want to let them down. But they're living life to the most. Why can't you do that? You owe that to yourself. Show up for yourself first before you want to show up for anybody else. And that's something that I say to everybody. I even say that to myself, to my children, everyone that I come in contact with. Show up for yourself first. Make sure that you can do for yourself first before you try to do for someone else. Because you're number one. And healing and getting yourself healthy and becoming the best person that you can be, that's the best gift you can give yourself. Health overtakes everything. Money has nothing on health. These materialistic stuff has nothing on your health. Take care of yourself first. That's number one. Become that person that you deserve to be. Become that person that you're worthy of, because you're worthy of it, believe me. You are worthy of it. And you are enough just the way you are. You shouldn't have to change. You shouldn't have to fake it for anyone. You shouldn't have to walk around with a mask for anyone. You're enough who you are. And if your circle accepts you for who you are, then that's where you need to be. If they don't accept you because you say you have these different situations going on with you, whether it's mental health or some kind of addiction, if they can't accept you for that, then you're with the wrong people. You need to step up, do what you need to do, and stay away from those that didn't support you on what you need help with. Because life is short. And unfortunately, a lot of us, that see people that are dealing with mental illness, or we see them with an addiction, a lot of them are just being brushed off. They're not even being helped. No support system. And if they do have a circle that they're around or people that they come into contact with every day, they're not healing. They're not getting the help that they need. And that's why I'm here today, because I want to make sure that anyone that I come in contact with, or anyone that I can help and be their support that they need, I'm here to do that. This is really what this podcast is about. It's about me being able to reach out to as many people as I can, and provide our free services to. Even if it's just someone you need to talk to, we're here. Give us a call. Go on my website. There's everything there that you need to get a hold of us, or just tools and resources for yourself. But you do need to understand, and this is the reason for this podcast today, it's really not worth it. I know some people just really can't understand that right now because of maybe the situation that they are in. Sometimes, we can't function like others wish we could. We can't be that person that they wish that you were. And I get it. But I need you to understand that you're no less than anyone else. You're worthy. You're enough. Just who you are. Love yourself for who you are. Don't try to be something that you're not for somebody else. Because if you have to be someone else and mask yourself on a daily basis, no, you're doing things wrong. Pause yourself. Breathe it in, like I always say. Inhale, like my shirt today. Inhale confidence and exhale any doubt. Because you are worth it. You are really worth it. And, I just want to be that person to tell you, if right now you're feeling as though you can't trust no one, you don't feel as though you're worth anything, or you're not good enough for anyone, or you're not doing things the right way, and life is just against you, I'm here to tell you, no, you are worth it. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not broken. And life is what you make it to be. And I need you to understand that there's help out there. There's no more need for you to be struggling in silence on a daily basis. Get the help you need. Reach out to someone. Get online, whether it's my organization or another organization. If you don't want to be in person with somebody and telling them what you need help with, get online and find the help that you need. Talk to a friend. A lot of people can give you a lot of different information that can help you. You just need to really ask for it. Take that mask off, throw that mask away. And that hyper independence that you've been doing to yourself all your life. Give yourself a break, pause, and start trusting. Let someone in that really, really loves you for who you are, and they're trying to help you. Just take the help that they're trying to give you. Give in to that person and really tell them, you know what? I ain't got this. I don't have this like I've been telling you. Yeah, there is something wrong with me. It's A, B, Z. How can you help me get this fixed? How can you help me get the help that I need? And don't feel as though you're letting yourself down or you're letting someone else down, because you're not. You're not. You're actually strengthening. This is a strength. When you ask for help, anybody asks for help, that's a strength. That's not a weakness. It's not a weakness at all. Because you have come in resonation with yourself and realize that, okay, this is enough. I had enough of this. I'm no longer faking this. I'm no longer going to continue this every day, waking up messed up, going to sleep messed up. Whether it's anxiety. I'm tired of this anxiety. I'm not going to keep giving into this anxiety and wearing this mask every so often all day long just so someone else can be happy, or I'm not going to continue to get high every day just to be with that crowd. I'm not going to continue to get drunk just to be with them, No. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself and say, no, this is not the life that I want. I need to get help so that I can live a full life, happy life, doing what I want to do, not what somebody else wants me to do, or be that other person that someone else needs me to be, just so that I can be around them, or just so that I can feel like I'm not letting someone else down. You're letting yourself down every day. Every time you fake it, every time you get yourself into this hyper-independency, every time you say that you're okay, but you're really not okay, and not taking care and showing up for yourself, you're letting yourself down. And the most important person every day is yourself. That's who's important every day is yourself, not no one else. Do you take care of yourself first so that you can be there for others and you can heal and be happy on a daily basis with your loved ones, with your circle, with yourself. Just trust. Reach out to somebody and tell them you need help. And get the help that you need. Become the person that you always wanted to be. You can do this. You can do this. Believe me, I've seen it. And I know it. Anything that you want to do with yourself is possible. You just got to show up for yourself. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things. We've all been in different kind of triggers and situations in life that we wish never happened, but things happen. That's life. Things happen. We have life in our hands. We control our life, believe it or not. With a lot of different things, we can control it. And that's where just showing up for yourself and believing in yourself and just being honest and get the help that you need is going to do for you. You're going to start trusting yourself. You're going to start healing. You're going to start growing. You're going to start being that person that you want to be for yourself, not no one else. And that's the best feeling in life, is just to be yourself and not have to fake it throughout for anyone else or to make other people happy when you're drowning. With that being said, there's different ways that we can deal with this, as using it as tools and resources. I always give you some kind of tools and resource that hopefully can help someone or help a caregiver with someone that's going through this situation, or just someone that knows that someone is doing, feeling this way, but they're not opening up. And it's just like I said, it's just letting someone in, let someone back into your life. Take little steps, small tasks, just try them out. Try yourself out every day with a small task of opening yourself back up and trusting someone that you feel comfortable with, and instead of saying today you're okay when you're not, just say you're not. Be honest with that person, be honest with yourself, and just accept help without guilt, because there's nothing to feel guilty about. There's nothing to feel ashamed about. Everyone needs help in life, whether it's mental health, addiction, or anything else. We all need some kind of help every once in a while in life. That's life. No one's perfect. Everyone's asked for some kind of help. So you asking for help for mental health or an addiction, there's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no embarrassment. It's a strength. So just open up. Try these things little by little every day. Try a different approach to opening up and trying to let go a little bit every day from that hyper independence. Just try to let go of it every day, little by little, until you eventually just opened up completely and you're accepting help from loved ones or someone special in your life, someone that you feel safe with. And just, like I said, if you don't have any support, please reach out to us. We'll become your support. If you have no way, you don't understand this, you don't really understand what's going on with you, you don't know how to go about it, reach out. We have advocates that can get everything in place for you, and tell you how they can help you, so that you can either use us or reach out to someone else in your community. But they'll help you put that together. Don't think that my advocates are just going to be for you to just use us. No, because if you've heard me before, I've told you it's not about us. It's not about you alone. It's not about our advocates, about our professionals that we have staff. It's about that individual that needs help. So if we can't help you, we're gonna be honest, but we're gonna get you where you need to be. We're gonna make sure you get that help, whether it's with us or someone else. We're not gonna just let you say, "Oh no, we can't help you." So no, that's not how it goes. Because we support mental health and drug and addiction 200%, and we stand by it 200%. Regardless if we can help you or not, we're gonna stand by you and get you where you need to get to. Whether it's, if you have a really bad drug addiction, counseling and talking to you, be honest with you, is not going to help you. We need to get you into detox. We need to find a facility for you. That I don't have, because all of our services are virtual, and I don't have a base yet, which we're working on it, but as of right now, I don't have a facility. I'm working on it. I am going to have one soon, but right now I don't have a facility. So someone that comes to me with a drug and addiction, I'm not just going to tell them, no, I can't help you. I'm going to find that detox place for you. I'm going to find a good facility for you. You might not have the funds for it. You might not have health insurance. I'm going to make sure that my advocates walk this journey with you and get you where you need to get to, whether you have insurance or you don't have insurance. That's what my advocates do. Okay? That's what we do. It's not about just use us, or it's not about what we can do. It's about what you need as an individual, whether it's mental health or some kind of addiction access. That's what we're going to get for you. With that said, I just want to say that's really what I had to talk about today. And again, it's just things that happen on a daily basis with mental illness or addiction. These are things that just come up, and I feel as though I see other, we speak with other people, they really understand it, they resonate with it, it helps them. I like to come on here and see that hopefully it helps someone else. And if my stuff is helping you, please let me know. If there's something else that you want to hear or you wish that you can do or have at this moment because you need it, reach out to us. And also, like I've always said, it takes a team, more than a team, to really, really be able to bring these accesses. Because right now my access are worldwide, and they will always be worldwide. My goal is to hopefully soon open up a facility locally and expand it worldwide, where I can also have people go into a facility if they need it. Unfortunately, right now I don't have that facility, but I do have a team that will help you. Whether it's virtually, whether it's community-based, I have that in place. But what I really want to be able to do is always have anything open for anyone worldwide. The numbers are so big, like I said every day. The numbers are so big, and every day they're growing larger and larger with mental illness and addiction, mental breakdowns, drug overdoses, people going into comas with self-medicating themselves, people hurting themselves. Unfortunately, people taking their lives on a daily basis every second of the day. This is why I'm here. This is why I started what I did, is because I'm hoping to really grab those numbers and just start breaking them down. Put a pause on those numbers. That's what my goal is. But reality is, I'm not going to be able to help everyone worldwide. I wish I could. But we can't, and that's why I'm saying that if you're listening to my podcast, whether it's here or whether you're listening to me on iHeartRadio, whether you're seeing me on social media or you're seeing one of my social media accounts and you're seeing a post and it's resonating with you and your heart is in the support system for mental health or drug and addiction, I'm calling out for you. Please, if you have the time, if this is something that you would like to do, we are looking for volunteers worldwide, not just locally, because our services are based worldwide. So no matter where you're at in the world, you can always help out, providing help with our clients and clients who are just needing this second by the day, by the minute, every second of the day, something is happening in mental health and in addiction. And it's very sad, and that's why I said, let's come together. Let's just make this movement stronger than ever. We don't need to compete against each other if you're doing the same thing that I'm doing. Just come together. It's not about us. And I say this all the time because it isn't. I didn't start this organization or this podcast to gain anything from it, but the only thing I want to gain from this is knowing that I can say to myself and to my team or to anyone else that's part of this, that's doing the same thing is, yes, we was able to help one more person. We were able to hopefully stop that person from taking their lives, stop that person from hurting themselves, stop that person from, getting high again and just getting them detox and getting them in a program. Just help that person looking at life at a different way. It just takes one person at a time. That's good enough for me. But I just want to be able to help as many ones as we can. And I feel as though that the more people that I open this up to, more organizations, more professionals that are licensed therapists, licensed counselors, in mental health and drug and addiction, social workers, if your heart is in this, because I know everyone is not for this. And I get it, and I understand, and I respect that. But if your heart is in for this, and this is something that you would love to really hit the ground running and help and be a part of this movement, reach out to me. So we can go over this and see how I can just bring you in. And we can just make this movement and this organization that is worldwide access even stronger. With that saying, like I say always, thank you, and I wanted to say thank you to my supporters, everyone that continues to help me, everyone that continues to push me on my, my journey and tell me you can do this, you have this, Jeannie, you're going to do great. Thank you, because, little things like that, it just stronger than anyone can think. Even though no matter what, I would never stop this movement, until I can't do this anymore. But other than that, I will always, day in, day out, I will continue to push this. I will continue to support drug and addiction. I will continue to support mental health. I will continue to do whatever it takes to help that next person. And with that being said, I just want to say, like I always do, and please really, really just show up for yourself. That's all it takes. That's the first step. Show up for yourself. Open up. Get the help that you need. Become that person that you need to be. I'm going to end that with that note and just saying to you, like I've always said, and this is a motto like I've always said, and I will continue to say it. It's okay to not be okay. What's not okay for anyone to ever think that they need to struggle in silence, in the dark, alone. Thank you. God bless, and hope to see you tomorrow at 6 and tonight at 8 o'clock at my Twilight Yoga. Thank you. Love yous all. Take care.